Hello, family. My video series will explain and show you the easy way to write, produce, publish, promote, and sell your own books. These trade secrets and strategies that I will share with you are coveted by those in the publishing industry who use them every day to professionally produce their literary products and the products of others. I have written, produced, published, marketed, promoted, and sold more than 14 different titles of books that I have created and many more books for others, including a local journalist, Carl Chancellor, who wrote for the Akron Beacon Journal for many years. I have, in addition, produced video animations, puppets, stuffed animals, mascots, and songs on compact discs to market my products. The world of book writing and production can be challenging, fun, and very rewarding when securing a finished product. In this first video, we'll focus on getting you to commit your book ideas to paper with the goal of creating a polished manuscript. Okay, so let's get into these trade secrets. First of all, you need to know that there are 8 basic steps to familiarize yourself with before you start. Those steps are: number 1, generate a manuscript. Number 2, edit the manuscript. Number 3, proofread the manuscript. Number 4, generate a galley proof of the manuscript. Number 5, print the book pages. Number 6, print the book cover, both the front and back. Number 7, bind the book pages to the cover. And number 8, sell your book. Now let's talk about the manuscript. What is a manuscript? A manuscript is the unpublished version of what might eventually become a book. Of course, we cannot call it a book until it is published. It is simply a draft until it is published. This is what a manuscript might look like once it's typed up on your computer. It has basic information on the first page at the top left, such as your name and address on the left-hand side, and the approximate number of words, the copyright sign, and the date on the upper right-hand side. The title and byline, that is, the author's name, is centered beneath the manuscript ID information, and your story begins about halfway down the page. Be sure to double space it to leave room for editing and/or spelling and/or grammar corrections. Now on the second page, your last name and page number is placed at the top left, and just beneath it is where the story title is placed. So you might be saying to yourself, yes, but how do I get ideas to start the manuscript writing process? Well, the answer is a strategy called story webbing. What is story webbing? Well, story webbing is a diagram which contains ovals connected by lines which actually look like a web. Look at the example on your screen. There is a series of ovals connected by lines which is referred to as a web. In this web, the basic elements of a well-written story is illustrated in the diagram. What are the basic elements of a story? Look at the diagram. In the center, there would be a proposed story title, which you can always change or modify later. And the basic 8 story elements for you to generate are genre, fiction or nonfiction, the plot, the setting, the characters, the rising action, the climax, and the resolution. As you can see here, the title would be the name of your book, story, or poem. What is a writing genre? Now, the genre would be the category of literature such as poetry, drama, prose, etc. Choose one. Then decide if your story will be based on fiction, which is non-factual, in essence not true or imaginary, or non-fiction, which is based on facts or factual events. Next would be the plot. What is a plot? The plot is the sequence of events in which the main character faces challenges, like a problem or a conflict. After that would be the setting of the story. The setting of the story is the time, location, and environment or place in which the story takes place. Of course, the character or characters in your story are important. A character can be a person, an animal, a being, a creature, an object, or a thing. What's left are the rising action, the climax, and the resolution of the problem or conflict the character or characters face, and they try to solve that problem in the story. The rising action, of course, is the period in your story after the introduction that builds to the excitement, tension, or drama. Climax. Well, the climax is the point of the highest tension, the excitement, or the drama of the problem or conflict in your story. You all know that the resolution of your story provides closure to the narrative, ties up loose ends, and resolves the conflicts or problems. Now let's take a look at an example of a completed story creation map for a book that I self-published entitled Boone the Raccoon and Easel the Weasel. As you can see in the example on your screen, the title and each story element is addressed. I did what we in the industry call brainstorming, come up with the 8 story elements. I decided to use some articulate animals in this case, since most children are fond of them, and I felt they would be encouraged to read the story and or get engaged in the storytelling of it. It worked. My elementary and middle school age students fell in love with the story. They even predicted how it would end and who the culprit was that caused the problem. They even wrote down their thoughts about the characters, how they would have solved the problem, and which characters they liked or disliked. Okay, back to the book development strategy. I had all the parts I needed to start writing text. At times, I got writer's block and I just stopped writing. It gave me time to think about what I could add or how I could change the story. I utilized word repetition, which is whole language, in the story to help emerging readers figure out the text. I then contacted an illustrator to draw pictures that highly supported the text. Once I started writing it out, I was able to put all the element parts of the story together. Next, I edited it to correct my grammar and rewrote it a few times. I proofread it to make sure it made sense and sounded the way a story should flow sequentially so that one could visualize the characters and the story events. Being a teacher, I possessed the skills to do so, but I still engaged a professional editor and proofreader to check my work. I found one in the literary marketplace, which is called the LMP. It's located at the local public library. It's a reference book, so you can't check it out, but you can examine it and use it as a resource while at the library. Initially, when I made the selection of an illustrator to draw the pictures, I lacked the necessary funding to have the book printed in full color, so I elected to have the story drawings rendered in black and white. I was later able to redo it in color with the money generated from the first printing. Before the printing could take place, though, I had to produce a galley proof for the book printer. That topic will be covered in my next video on the easy way to write, produce, publish, promote, and sell your own books 102. If this video was helpful and informative, please hit that like button. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel so you can be alerted when I post a new video. So until next time, peace, family.
While building a place to store all their food, their homies came by to brighten their mood. Weaver the beaver carved out the windows and the doors. Claire the bear pressed logs into the floor. Buck the woodchuck brought over some rocks. Yeah, Boone, he was the man at